Hello and welcome to CCTV America. Thanks for joining us. I'm Anand Naidu. Venezuelans will go to the polls on April 14 to elect a successor to President Hugo Chavez. The opposition has nominated Henrique Capriles as the challenger. Capriles ran and lost to Chavez in last October's vote. Well, let's cross live now to Caracas to CCTV's Begue, who's there. Michelle, what will the opposition bring to the electorate? What's their platform?
If it is Henrique Capriles, what we know we can expect is a person who's understood that what Chavez has done in the past 14 years cannot be ignored. He has to campaign with support to the social programs, and he said that he wouldn't completely go against them. What he wants to focus on is changing the things that have been wrong in the past 14 years. He says food shortages shouldn't be happening. These crime rates that we're seeing and getting higher and higher in Caracas shouldn't be happening. In terms of oil production here and the fact that a lot of it goes outside of the country to aid other nations such as Cuba, he said that that's being mismanaged and that the resources need to continue to come here. So these are some of the issues that he is going to be putting on the table to challenge Nicolás Maduro, who will be running for the Chavistas.
You know, the passing of Hugo Chavez was very much the end of an era. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it is. Is there a sense that people are concerned about where Venezuela will go without Hugo Chavez?
Yes, when you talk to the people on the street at the funeral, who were all Chavistas who we've really been seeing in these past couple days, you don't get a sense of a worry. You get a sense of complete sadness. But we have to understand that Chavez's rhetoric for a very long time has been that left-wing revolutionary fighting rhetoric. So he's really geared up the masses to express themselves in that way. And all they really talk about is that they're ready to fight for the Chavistas to win in this next election. And even Maduro is using that rhetoric, obviously. He's saying that even during the inauguration, that he swears that he'll continue Chavez's policies, and he says that the people will be armed with an iron fist to be free. And I quote, and these are the type of things that the people are saying. They believe they're going to win on April 14th, but we'll have to see how it pans out when we continue that coverage during the elections.
And will Nicolás Maduro still be able to retain the support of those people who supported Hugo Chavez?
Well, you really feel that he is because of the fact that they're riding on this emotion and passion that the Chavistas are feeling right now with the death of their leader. And they've always said that the fact that Nicolás Maduro was handpicked by Chavez, that he left them basically the next leader, they're going to do more than ever what Chavez wanted in order to continue that legacy that he left behind. So it seems like they're all going to back Nicolás Maduro in this.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Michelle Begue there talking to us from Caracas. Well, joining us now to talk more about the upcoming Venezuelan election and what's ahead for both the acting president and the opposition is Diego Aria. He's a former Venezuelan representative to the United Nations, and he joins us from New York. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much.
Well, in your view, what is next for Venezuela? We got the elections coming up. Nicolás Maduro is widely expected to win those elections. I mean, is this going to mark a turning point for the country, or are we going to see more of the same?
You know, first, I think it was an excellent introduction by Michelle. On the second one, regardless of Mr. Maduro, the real candidate is Hugo Chavez. Hugo Chavez is going to be with us for a long time. His shadow is behind. Actually, they are embalming his body in order to preserve him to parade him probably around this process in the election. What we have ahead is not only a major competition with Chavez in the past, but an electoral arbiter who is not an arbiter, who is just follows instruction from the regime. And on top of that, we have a very unprecedented situation in which we had a president that for the last 3 months, nobody has seen him. Suddenly he dies, he reappears in the country. And then there is he was not sworn in, so we have a de facto regime. Actually, Mr. Maduro should not be the president in charge, should have been the president of the National Assembly, which makes it that we'll have a competition against an illegal candidate competing in the electoral process.
Well, I mean, Maduro is still going to be the candidate. What do we know about him? I mean, we know that he comes from very humble beginnings, a high school dropout. He was a bus driver for a little while. He will be inheriting a deteriorating economy and a divided Venezuela.
You know, also you have to add that Maduro is actually been chosen by the Cubans. The Cubans have been controlling the Venezuelan politics for at least 10 years. And Maduro has been actually chosen together with Chavez. Now Maduro has taken the road to be holier than thou, more popist than the Pope. And he's beginning to sound even tougher than Chavez was, a lot. So to anticipate in short range were he to become the president of Venezuela, I think that the short range situation will be even more difficult for the Venezuelans than it was lately.
You know, something that we're beginning to hear more and more about is the wife of Nicolas Maduro. Her name is Celia Flores, reportedly a very ambitious woman who was also a big confidant of Hugo Chavez.
Well, I understand, yeah, that's his partner. She was president of the Congress, is now like the Attorney General of Venezuela, and she is exactly the way you describe her. And probably she's much more equipped and prepared than him. And she was also very close to Chavez. You know, there are a group of ladies in the Venezuelan government, they're all very close to Chavez. You know, we, the opposition, we will be fighting against, not only against the Chavez heritage, against the Chavez shadow, and the major resources. The reason that Maduro was irregularly appointed president was because as president, he'll be used all the media. They control 70 to 80% of the media, so he'll be able to control all the resources in the media of the government. That's the reason why they violated the Constitution in order not to place the president of the National Assembly, but Mr. Maduro.
Now, what should be another issue which will be facing Venezuelans, and that will be the relationship with Washington. It's been a very strained relationship while Hugo Chavez was president. Do you think that's going to change?
No, I think we'll get, well, at least it will be, the best scenario will be that remain the same. In my view, it will get worse because were Maduro to be elected, which remains to be seen, he will take even a tougher stand. He have to show the Chavistas that he is as tough as Chavez or even tougher. So in short range, I don't see any change at all.
Diego Aria, thanks for joining us, sir.